Daily Flash presents Preview Review. Here's your host, Matt Doolittle. Matt Doolittle. Matt Doolittle.
Yeah, Jimmy, hey, Pat Sajak's retiring today. It's his last show. I mean, he's been doing this thing for 40 years. He's 77 years old. Yeah, he made a lot of money. I mean, Pat Sajak's net worth says it's around $75 million. And he worked like 3 or 4 months a year just having dopes guess something on a wall. I could do that. Who's replacing him? Ryan Seacrest? Oh, come on. Can he stop taking everybody's job? Next thing you know, he'll want that. You don't think he'd want this? What's wrong with this? I could do that job. You just stand there and have people say dirty words on a screen and have a hot chick walk up and down. You know what we're going to do? I'm going to put in a submission tape, and it's going to be you and me. Yes, you're going to have to wear a dress. Yes, you just walk over, press the things, and don't say a word, just like you do here. Also, here's your lunch. I know. I already ate it. Hey, welcome to Preview Review for the Daily Flash. I am Matt Doolittle, and welcome to what is a Friday edition. If you say Happy Friday, I will slap you through the screen. I hate that. But yeah, so like I was talking to Jimmy over here, it is Pat Sajak's last show today. So wherever you watch it in the country, I mean, whatever you think of it, he has basically been on TV since I've been born by a few months. So 40 years, congratulations, Pat. And I'm serious. I will take that gig any day. He is worth $75 million. All right, so let's look at a preview that came out. You guys are not going to hear me shut up about this for the next 5 months. Halloween Horror Nights is coming to Orlando and to Hollywood Studios, Hollywood Universal Studios. Always a big time. I haven't been in a couple years, and I will not shut up about it. I worked there for 11. I need some years off. Plus, it's just gotten so big. It is so many people. It is. If you're here in Orlando right now, it's supposed to hit 100 degrees now. And having worked it in the past when I only had to work 14 nights and going when it was already in October, it's going to be hot, even at night. And they start this thing at like 7 o'clock and the sun is still out, especially since they're starting it in August. It starts August 30th? Are you kidding me? Anyway, so yeah, we have like 3 months of Halloween Horror Nights, which I know they're opening a year-round thing in Vegas. So which I always thought they should just have a permanent attraction at the park for Halloween Horror Nights, change it up yearly or something, but just because it's such a big deal. But anyway, so we've gotten these previews of what aren't their IPs that they've been putting out. So if you don't know, those are the things Universal doesn't necessarily have to pay for. Even if it is from a Universal product of their own, they still have to pay royalty fees and music fees, and it costs a lot to get all that stuff for the event. So generally, in these off the 5 years, because we're going into year 33, they don't do those. They'll do a couple, but they'll come up with a lot of their own stuff. And over the years, it has gotten a lot better. It used to just really be a shell of something that was a movie. For instance, I was in a house called Run, which amazingly looked like Saw. See what I mean? They try to do that, or some type of zombies would get out. Sort of like The Walking Dead, but not exactly called The Walking Dead, even though they did have more Walking Dead houses later on. So they try to get around that some years, but the stuff that they have and the stuff that they've already previewed, to me, looks really good this year. But we did get our first look at the first IP this year, and it's an interesting one. This is an interesting one. And initially, and I like that they've already shown kind of what the arch is going to look like and everything. So the preview here, if you don't get it, I'll give you a second, but you've probably seen the news. It is going to be for A Quiet Place. Now, we've got A Quiet Place Day 1, the movie, coming out in a couple weeks. I think it's the end of June. So pretty relevant. I'm sure they'll have some elements of that, and good for John Krasinski getting that going. Interesting concept, though. Is the house going to be quiet? Are they going to come after you if you scream? Are you going to have to wear, I heard a radio person, I don't want to rip off one of the hosts from a radio station here, headphones when you go in? That'd be a hassle. I mean, they do make you wear glasses on some of the 3D rides, so it's doable. if you've gone to Halloween Horror Nights, people like to drinky drink, so they get louder and pretty rowdy. Remember this one guy who thought, anyway, that was an interesting night. But yeah, so this is an interesting concept for this. Usually they're loud, there's strobe lights, there's distractions around every corner so that when you go this way, they get you that way, or something's already jumping out at you that you can see, and you'll have people screaming, and I've had lines of people just fall in front of me if I popped out of a boo hole. So interesting concept for this one. I want to see what they do. It would be great if John Krasinski came here and walked through it, even though when we had the Ghostbusters house, none of them showed up. So this was announced. We're going to have a couple more IPs. I don't know the official count of the houses. I think we're up to 6 now. So there's probably going to be 2 more. And then whatever they do for the streets, I don't know if this will be part of the streets also. But great commercial. Really creative. Props to the Universal team over there for this thing, for showing this off with the the deaf people and all that. Very, very cool. So we're going to be waiting diligently. I think they're going to try to do these once a week. Especially now that the dates and the ticket prices and all that are out. So the official dates for Halloween Horror Nights Orlando, which is the one I'm mostly going to focus on, because the one in California is nowhere close to the one here. And no bad to our Halloween people in LA, but it's a way smaller footprint. They don't have as many houses. They just can't make it as big. And a lot of it's kind of the same stuff that we have here. They'll add a couple different things, like Rob Zombie had his own house out there, which I thought would have been cool to see. But the official dates for this are insane. August 30th to November 3rd. And so just to date myself, when I worked it was 14 nights. And I did my first year was Halloween Horror Nights 16. I just turned 18 or 19. And it was 14 nights. It was Friday, Saturday, the first couple weeks, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then they started Thursday halfway through, then a Wednesday, and then the last week was Wednesday to Sunday. This thing is Wednesday to Sunday every single week. Sometimes they'll even, I think last year they threw in an extra Monday because they were so sold out. The ticket prices kind of depend on when you go, what night. They're cheaper to go during the week. And here is my suggestion. Go during the week. Go on Wednesday, maybe Thursday, even though some people start their weekends on Thursdays, or maybe Sunday. Do not go on Friday or Saturday unless you have an express pass, take the VIP tour, which is going to cost you $369.99 per person. If you get the express pass, that's $139.99 a person plus tax. Premium night screen pass, the premium night, whatever, is $350. The tickets start at $82.99, and then it depends on what night you go, because the prices can range just depending on, like I said, if you go on a Saturday, it's going to be more expensive than if you go on a Wednesday. So just keep up with that. I think it's $109 for the weekend, and then you throw on the express pass. It just gets so expensive. So just plan it out, and don't just expect to show up and buy your tickets and walk in, because you're going to spend half the night waiting to buy your tickets before you get in. Get there as soon as the place opens. Even though one year I was a vampire and the sun was still out and I was in the streets and people just walked by me and I just kind of waved because they would laugh at me because I'm a vampire in the sun. Not the greatest scheduling. So that's what we've got for Halloween Horror Nights. I'm super stoked. I'm hoping to go this year. Hopefully our friends at Universal watch these and bring old Daily Flash along for a little tour. What, me nudging for that stuff? Never. So that's interesting. The other theme park news, because a lot of today is theme park. The big movie news is Bad Boys is coming out this weekend, and hopefully it's supposed to make around $80 million. I don't know about that, but Will Smith has been doing every bit of press he possibly can on the Slap Redemption tour. So maybe it could get close. I saw it. You can watch the previous review on that, the previous preview review. We got to see a screening of it earlier this week. It's good. It's what it is. Blow up stuff in Miami. that's basically what those movies are. So if you like that, you like Will Smith and Martin Lawrence doing kind of Martin Lawrence things, check it out. You'll know what I mean. But the other big news that hit this week was Disney is set to invest $17 billion in the Florida parks now that the fight with the governor is over. Finally. It was stupid. If you lived here, everybody looked at each other like, why are you fighting Disney? Come on. Like they're the largest employer in this state. You're not going to win that. So they made Nicey Nice and all that. So they're investing, Disney is set to invest $17 billion into the Florida resort. Now, this is going to be over the next 10 to 20 years. This isn't just going to be tomorrow. The plan is there's already a massive expansion that's going to happen to the Magic Kingdom, which is needed to happen for a long time, even though I have begged Disney to not have one park under construction for at least a year. Hollywood Studios, when it was under construction, was a disaster. I worked there during that time, and guests were pissed that they were like, what are we here for? Why did we pay $100 plus to get in here when there's 2 rides open and you can't even walk all the way around the park? You get to one end and have to go to it was a disaster. Epcot has been under construction for what feels like 6 years now. They started right before the pandemic. Granted, that slowed stuff down for about a year, but they're just now wrapping that up. 6 years of redoing the front of that park. And if you go there, it didn't mess with the World Showcase. It messed with getting in the damn park and leaving. It was a maze, and this is coming from somebody who can tell you where every freaking bathroom is on that property. I was like, I have no idea where to go. I don't know what bathrooms are open. This thing's a mess. Animal Kingdom is probably the next. They're tearing apart the Dino World, and it's going to most likely be this Indiana Jones themed area. They've already said they're going to kind of bring that ride over from LA. Anaheim, sorry. And then the next big thing is going to be this expansion to the Magic Kingdom in the back where Frontierland is, Big Thunder Mountain. They're building back there. So the rumors are they're going to put more of a Pixar land, because if you've gone to where the Pixar stuff is at Hollywood Studios, it's really just Toy Story. It's not all encompassing of the Pixar stuff. I'm hoping it is a bring over from Anaheim of Radiator Springs from the Cars movies. That land's amazing. That ride's awesome. I got to experience it last summer real quick. I got in and out of the park. I had work, but I worked in a Disneyland trip. That land would make sense. Then there's rumors for like kind of a villain area over there. Part of this $17 billion though, the rumors are it's another park. If you've seen any of these, or you've seen me on the Daily Flash talking about it, a rumored villain park has been in the works for decades. This was back in the Eisner era, back in the early 90s, that a 5th park was in the works. And believe me, they've got the property for it. Where it would be, the castle would be Maleficent's, as there's always a prominent castle or something that you walk in, you know, each one at the parks has their icon. So it would be that, which I think would be really cool, especially since our society has embraced the villains a little more these days. I think it would be more accepted. 2 smaller parks, which are most likely going to be water parks, but that doesn't make much sense to me. That's what these reports say. They don't have both water parks open at the same time right now. It's either Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon. Neither one have been open at the same time since the pandemic. They don't have enough lifeguards, and they can't fill them. We've been there, my wife and I have passes. We've gone a couple times, and it's not packed. Maybe now that it's blazing hot here in Florida, it will start, and when we get to the South American, let's call it South American, tourist season later in the summer, I'm sure it'll get bigger, and they may open both. I hope they open both. It's hot as hell. But 2 water parks don't make sense. I think one, and I think what they should do is a little kids park, a la Legoland or Peppa Pig, because the Disney kids channels are so big. Mickey's Clubhouse, I guess you can include Bluey. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have kids yet. So I think that it would be really good to just have a park for that under 12 preschool, grade, you know, just middle, coming out of elementary school, that size. I think that would be great, because you have a mix of stuff when you go to the parks now. Here's kind of how it goes. Magic Kingdom, the mix. You got little kid stuff, you got big kid stuff. You can kind of find something for everybody. Hollywood Studios is definitely a teenager and up park. Epcot is for the parents. And Animal Kingdom, I don't know. That place still doesn't have an identity to me. The safari is great. The rest of it, I have no idea what else to do there. The ride is fun, Everest, but the rest of the park is just kind of a walk around and go, I don't know, grab another drink. I don't know what to do here. So I think a little kid park would be perfect. Mom or dad can take the kid there. One other parent or the teens can run over there, and everybody runs around. They're also adding another hotel or two. 15,000 more rooms, because God knows they need it. They'll go from 40,000 to 53,000 rooms. I would love to know what they're going to do with the traffic, even though we have express lanes that for some reason stop right before you get to Disney. They're working on them, but it would have made sense to start that first, because if you live here, you know that every day, no matter what time, trying to get from downtown Orlando to Tampa or Tampa to Orlando, that little blockade called Champions Gate, is a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. You're not getting past there on time. Add 45 minutes to your drive. Now, they said they are going to put, they're building a housing community. It's still up for grabs out in that area, whether those people want that traffic. I think it's needed. You're going to be bringing a lot more employees here. And it said that a part of this deal is that half of the construction companies have to be from Florida. So no matter where these construction workers are, they're going to move to Florida or Orlando with their families. It is said that also they want to hire people that are already in Orlando for these jobs at these new parks and these new divisions. They don't want them bringing over from California like they did after the pandemic, which means they're going to hire new people from all over the country to come here. It's just going to be an expansion of what is already the massive footprint here. And this is a direct go at Universal, which just opened the Epic Universe Welcome Center. They did this with Islands of Adventure years ago. They just opened this, or they're about to, and you can go in and see previews of what's coming up at the park, and they're going to have an augmented reality thing where you can walk around and see it. I think it's really neat, but it's funny when they do these. It's like you don't think people are going to just come already. You could have put a sign up that says opening next week, and people will be already lined up down I-4. I am hoping that we get a preview of it or some type of thing, because I don't do well in those crowds. I don't need to be these vloggers that have to be there day one, that have to be camped out all night, that have to run in and see it. I get it. Y'all folks want to see it, and they're more than welcome to do it. But those crowds on those opening days, if you ever see the pictures from Islands of Adventure's first day opening, no thanks. Anytime a new ride opens at Disney, like Tron, or even with this Tiana's Bayou Adventure that is on a slow roll opening, they've done the cast previews, they've done the pass holder previews. I'm hoping to go to one in a week or so. People just wait in line. They get there, it breaks. You can't get it. It's going to be a new park that's going to open. Slow roll. It's going to be a disaster. These new parks and all this stuff at Disney, it's going to be another 5 to 10 years. Hopefully by then I have kids and I could just be like, make the excuse that I got to take my kids. Darn. So that's all the stuff going on today. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And again, Pat, look, man, you didn't even give me an audition. I can sit there in a suit and coif my hair and point to somebody to do the thing. I'm just saying, man, you can hit me up, matt@dailyflashshow.com, or you can comment down here, Pat. You got some time on your hands. You're 77. I don't think you play golf. So let me know. And let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think about all this stuff, what you think Disney is actually going to do, what you think of all the Horror Nights stuff, and who do you think is going to win the box office this weekend? I know it's going to be Bad Boys, but I don't think it's hitting 80. I'm guessing 55. I'm going to put it out there. I think 55. So until next time, peace and love. Peace and love.